you help me? Please, can you help me? Help me, please? Please? It had been a lovely day, but as ever, the reliable British weather had turned on me, and a peaceful afternoon's drawing had become a blusterous and overcast. They gathered their pencils and pads and pushed them into their bag as quickly and carefully as possible. They were a good 3 miles from their car and hurried along the woodland path they'd travelled up earlier in the day. The path was off the beaten track, but was also reasonably well trodden by local wildlife. As they got a little deeper into the wood, they thought they heard someone shout. They paused briefly and listened to see if they heard it again. They heard nothing, so continued on their way. It was probably the wind, they thought. They had not travelled much further when they thought they heard it again, once more stopping and looking around them. Out of the corner of their eye, they saw something blue. Was it green? When they turned in the direction, there was no sign of anything except for the trees and shrubs that decorated the local landscape. As they lifted their foot, carry on, they heard, "Please." They stopped, frozen to the spot. After a minute, they heard it again. "Please." "Hello," they called out. "Help," was the reply. And then, "Help, please." "Hello? Where are you?" he called out. Again, they thought they caught a glimpse of something bluey-green in the corner of their eye. But when they looked in that direction, there was nothing. "Over here," said the voice, sounding a little fainter and more scared. They suddenly became aware they were still stood mid-step with their foot off the ground. They set off in the direction they thought the voice was coming from, and where they thought they saw whatever the blurry shape was. It was slow going, as the heather, shrubs and bushes made it difficult, but at least the tree canopy was keeping the weather at bay for now. Unfortunately, it also meant that the light was getting dimmer the deeper they went. The voice was still calling out, "Help, please! Help! Can you help me? Help! Please!" The voice always seemed to sound like it was the same distance away. They also saw more blue-green blurry things in the corner of their eye, but as they struggled through the wood, they never found anything that they could see. As they turned to look at any object, it was always gone. After 20 minutes or so, could be more or less, they hadn't got a watch, and also they weren't exactly keeping track of time. Lee stopped and called out. The responding voice came from Lee's left. The voice had been straight ahead this whole time. They took a few steps forward to their left. After all, it's a dark wood. Everything looks reasonably the same. "I'm coming," Lee called. "Hurry," said the voice, now to Lee's right. Lee stopped, pointing forwards and then pointing right, turning a full circle. Where are you? Called out Lee. Over here, called the voice from behind them. Determined to reach the person in need, Lee spun round once more and headed off. There was a strange blue-green glow coming from a bush ahead. Slowing to a more cautious approach, Lee called out, "Hello?" "Please help," came the voice. From straight ahead, much closer now. The glow faded as they approached the bush. Cautiously, they rounded the bush and stopped. Nothing. What the? They turned. Nothing. Turned back. Nothing. "Hello?" he called out, starting to worry. "Help!" came from right behind them again. They turned round. Nothing. Frustrated and a combination of angry and scared, Lee shouted, "What's going on? Where are you?" A resounding chorus of giggles and glowing blue and green lights from all directions was the response. Scared, Lee suddenly focused on their own situation. They had stopped in a sinkhole and had slowly sunk to their knees, sinking quickly from spinning round looking for the person in trouble. It finally dawned on her that the person in trouble was in fact now them. A chorus of giggles, the soundtrack of their panic. Lights flashing brighter the more they panicked and the more they struggled. Now, waist deep in thick, inescapable mud, screaming for help, crying in panic, they continued to sink. "Help! Please help! Can somebody help? Help me!" Lee screamed, now neck deep and sobbing. "Somebody help me!" the giggling voices mocked as Lee was consumed by the thick mud. There was no sign of them at all. As Bert was walking along the edge of the wood with their dog, they laughed at the noisy wind. They always found it funny how the weather could make noises like voices and other things, playing tricks on the mind. "Please, can you help me? Help! Please help!" Bert stopped and turned. "Hello?" they called as they headed into the wood.
Shh.